Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
And I'm Matt. Today we are looking at day 2 of our article called The Amazing Life of Swifts. And no, not Taylor Swift, but birds called swifts. Amazing little birds called swifts that can fly for a very long time and are very well adapted for flying. Their bodies are suited for flying so that now they can pretty much do everything while they fly. They can have a snack, drink some water. They can do anything they need while flying.
That's right. And then they can stay up in the air for up to 10 months without resting, right? And also their tiny feet and short legs allows them to kind of, grab on or hold on to vertical surfaces like cliffs, right? That's pretty amazing. So I really like looking at birds. I mean, I'm not a bird expert. If I really do want to look at different types of birds, where can I go in Taiwan or Taipei?
Well, there's the zoo, of course. Also has a bird area where you can look at many kinds of birds there. And they actually can fly around you. But another place you could see birds in Taipei is the bird street. There's
a bird street?
Well, there's a street that sells birds.
Really?
There's birds in cages for people to buy pet birds. And there's a whole street of them. So you could go there, you could get a bird for your own home and have a bird from Bird Street.
But I probably won't be able to buy a swift, right?
Well, I think it would be cruel to have a pet swift, being as they are a bird that spends so much time in the air. So to keep them in a cage would not be very nice.
Well, what if it just keeps on flying in my home? Would that be okay?
Guess that'd be all right.
Okay, I'm just joking. I don't want to do that to them. They deserve freedom. Okay, let's go into today's article and learn more about the swifts.
One of the most amazing things about common swifts is their speed and endurance. During its lifetime, a common swift may travel millions of kilometers, equal to several trips to the moon and back. Every year, these birds migrate from Europe and Asia to Africa and take advantage of strong winds along the way. These long-distance journeys are among nature's greatest wonders. Young common swifts are also full of surprises. When nesting, the parents may leave their chicks alone for days if the weather turns bad. The baby birds survive by entering a state called torpor that slows their heart rate and helps them save energy.
Hello everyone. Today we're looking at day 2 of our article called The Amazing Life of Swifts.
Well, let's dive into our article and learn more about these interesting birds. One of the most amazing things about common swifts is their speed and endurance. Okay, so we're talking about their speed. That means how fast they can go, right? Wow, okay, so let's learn more.
Okay. During its lifetime, a common swift may travel millions of kilometers.
Wow.
Equal to several trips to the moon and back.
That's crazy.
So they can go the same distance as going to the moon and back, not just once, but several times. So more than one time, they could have traveled to the moon and back, but they are just traveling around the world. But I guess if you are flying all the time, you're constantly moving, so you would always be moving more and more, and that would equal eventually millions of kilometers.
That's right. Okay, well, let's continue. Every year, these birds migrate from Europe and Asia to Africa and take advantage of strong winds along the way. That means sometimes if the wind is blowing a certain way or with the strong winds, they will kind of go along with it to save their energy, right? And these long distance journeys are among nature's greatest wonders. And that is definitely true. And we are looking at this word here, advantage. And that is a noun. An advantage is something that gives gives you a better chance to succeed, a helpful position, or a benefit over someone or something else. It is like having a head start or a useful tool that makes a task easier. An example sentence would be, Sylvie's experience gave her a clear advantage over her classmates.
Okay, so today we've already learned that these birds not only fly for a long time, but they also fly over great distances throughout their life. So going all the way from one place to another just to feed there and then taking advantages of winds that allow them to move even faster.
And they are very smart, right, by doing so. Okay, let's go over to Hanny and we will be right back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课程要继续介绍雨燕。普通雨燕最令人惊奇的特点之一就是它们的速度跟耐力。一只普通雨燕在它的一生当中可能会飞行到数百万公里，这相当于往返月球好几趟诶。那每一年这些鸟类从欧洲跟亚洲迁徙到非洲，它们会利用强劲的顺风来帮助飞行，帮助它们节省体力。好，单字 advantage 这个名词可以指有利条件或是优势。Take advantage of 在文中就是指利用什么什么。Karen 老师在讲解时，他有提到 head start。head start 它指的是先起步的优势。那我们接着回到课文中。
And we are back. So let's get back to the article. Young common swifts are also full of surprises. When nesting, the parents may leave their chicks alone for days if the weather turns bad.
Wait a minute. The parents may leave their chicks alone for days if the weather turns bad? So then the babies would just be in the nest by themselves. That is not right.
What? You don't leave your daughter at home for days sometimes when, you know, the weather's bad, you just don't want to leave the office?
Of course not. You have to protect your babies.
Oh.
Why? So I guess their babies will be able to survive on their own, right?
I guess so. All right, so they'll be left in the nest. Okay, a nest is a structure for holding the eggs or the young infants of a animal. So typically we think of bird's nests, which can be made of sticks. Usually the typical nest you would think of is a ring of sticks or twigs and branches, and the eggs sit inside the nest, and eventually baby birds sit inside the nest.
But if we use it as a verb though, to nest in trees, that means they can also create or make their nest and then stay there, right?
That's right. So when they're using the nest, they are nesting. These birds are nested and they're nested in the trees. All right, we have an example sentence. Birds typically nest in trees to keep their eggs safe.
That's right. Okay, well, let's continue with our article. The baby birds survive by entering a state called torpor that slows their heart rate and helps them save energy. Wow, that is pretty amazing, and that is why the parents are able to leave them in the nest when, you know, during like bad weather or really poor climate condition, right? Because they know that the babies will be able to survive on their own because they can slow their heart rate and then they can save energy. Wow.
If only human children could do that.
I know. You don't have to take care of your babies.
All right, now let's go to Hanny.
普通雨燕的幼鸟也充满了惊奇，因为在天气恶化时，青鸟，也就是鸟爸爸、鸟妈妈，它们可能会让雏鸟独自待在鸟巢里待上数天，幼鸟就会进入一种称为蛰伏的状态，以求生存。那这种状态是会减缓心率，帮助它们节省能量。好，文中的 torpor 就是指蛰伏。那么 nest 当名词可以指鸟类或昆虫的巢窝，不过在文中它是当动词来表达筑巢。Matt 老师在讲到筑巢时有提到 twig。这个名词它是指细枝或者是嫩枝。好，那这边还有两个重点。第一个介绍 if 引导条件句，它是用来表示可能发生的情况。那用来指未来情况时 if 子句的动词要用现在式代替未来式。这个句型就会是 if 主词加动词逗号祈使句，或者是 if 主词加动词逗号主词加上 will, can 或是 may 再加原形动词。我们这边造两个例句。If you're sleepy, go take a nap. 如果你困了，就去小睡一下。 If we don't hurry, we will miss the flight. 如果不快一点，我们就会错过班机。那第二个介绍连缀动词的用法。连缀动词是用来连接主词跟主词补语。那主词补语通常会是形容词和名词，用来说明主词的状态或身份。像文中它用到 turn 来当连缀动词，表达变得怎么样，转变为什么什么。其他常见的连缀动词像 go、get、grow 或者是 become 也都可以表达变得、变成的语义。好，像是 the milk has turned sour， 就是牛奶已经变酸了。那我们接着课文中。
Thank you, Henny. And now we are back. Okay, so from our article so far, we know that the Swifts, they can actually travel really, really great distance throughout their lifetime, right? Like millions of kilometers. And also, the parents can leave their baby chicks in the nest when the weather turns bad, and the babies are able to survive on their own.
Yeah, that's great for the Swifts. They don't even have to be at home that often. They can do their favorite thing, which is flying, as long as they want.
That's right.
All right, let's go to the second part of the article now, and we'll be right back.
When the chicks are ready to fly, they launch into the sky and begin their travels across different continents. Although swifts are common in many parts of the world, their numbers are decreasing in some regions because of habitat loss. Old buildings, where common swifts in Europe often nest, are being replaced by modern ones without the small gaps they need. Thankfully, many people are now building special nest boxes to help them. With a little help from us, these wonderful birds can keep filling our skies.
Okay, welcome back. So we're continuing to learn about swifts, and we just learned some interesting things about swift chicks or swift babies, and that they can be left in their nest for a very long time.
That's right, and they're able to survive the bad weather condition, right? Okay, let's continue. When the chicks are ready to fly, they launch into the sky and begin their travels across different continents. Wow, so right when they're ready to fly, they are already, preparing themselves to fly to different continents, right? So launching themselves, to launch, that is a verb. Launch means to send something into the air with great force. For example, like a rocket, or put a boat into the water, or to start a new project or product with energy. The example sentence would be, the rocket is set to launch from the Space Center tomorrow.
Okay, so they're ready to launch and fly to different continents. Well, a continent is one of the continuous large land masses on the Earth. So we typically think of there being 7 continents. You have North and South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, you have Australia, and then Antarctica.
That's right, you got them all.
All right, so we have an example sentence. Asia is the largest continent by land area and population. All right, continuing with our article. Although swifts are common in many parts of the world, their numbers are decreasing in some regions because of habitat loss.
Aww. So that means they are kind of losing their home, right? That's why the numbers are decreasing, right? Okay, we're talking about this word decrease, and that is a verb. Decrease means to make or become smaller, fewer, or less in size, amount, or strength. It is the opposite of increase. An example sentence would be, prices are expected to decrease after the holiday season.
Yes, prices will usually go down after everyone stops buying stuff.
Exactly. Okay, well, let's go over to Hanny first, and we will be right back.
当雨燕的幼鸟准备飞行时，它们就直接跃入空中，开启跨越大陆的旅程。我们来看看单字 launch。launch 当动词可以指鸟类振翅起飞， 它也可以表达发射，像发射火箭等等。那文中的 launch into the sky 是表达展翅飞向空中，飞上天空或是跃入空中。下一个单字 continent 这个名词表示洲、大陆。Matt 老师在解释单字时提到 land mass， 这是指整块陆地、陆地板块。而在列举7大洲的时候，老师说的 Antarctica 这个字就表示南极洲。好，那课文接着提到，虽然雨燕在世界许多地方都很常见，但某些地区的数量正因为栖息地的丧失而减少。我们补充一下 habitat 这个名词就是指动植物的栖息地， decrease 这个动词则表示减少，使减少降低。那我们继续回到课文中。
Thank you, Henny. And now we are back. Okay, let's continue with our article. Old buildings where common swifts in Europe often nest are being replaced by modern ones without the small gaps they need. Oh, okay, so that's why the number of the population is decreasing, because the architecture, actually the buildings are changing, right? Because the old buildings, they have more gaps in between. This is where they can nest. But now we have the modern ones where we have the skyscrapers. So it's harder to find these gaps in between to nest, right?
That's right. Modern, like glass buildings would be difficult to make a nest on. Thankfully, many people are now building special nest boxes to help them. With a little help from us, these wonderful birds can keep filling our skies.
Okay, so I guess there are some things that we can do, right? And I wouldn't want these birds to be extinct. Of course, these wonderful birds should keep living, and then we can enjoy looking at them. They can enjoy their freedom, right?
That's right, and I'm sure you know, not just to look at, but also to keep them in the environment. I'm sure they do important things like eating lots of insects, which might harm plants. So it keeps the balance of the environment to keep every animal around.
Okay, let's go over to Henny first, and we will be right back.
欧洲的普通雨燕常常筑巢在老旧建筑上，可是老建筑正在被现代建筑取代。那么新建筑就缺少了雨燕所需要的小缝隙。幸好现在有很多人正在架设那种专用的巢箱来帮助他们。好，文中用到 gap， 在这边它是指建筑物上的那种小缝隙或者是孔洞。我们接着回到课文中。
All right, welcome back, everyone. So we have a what do you think question to wrap up here. So Karen, I'm going to ask you, what more can we do to protect birds like the swift?
Okay, well, we mentioned a couple of ways in our article already. I think one of the ways is to preserve existing sites. If you see their nest, don't block them or don't destroy them. Keep them where they are. So that's one way. You can also join the support group, like local group, who are already taking steps in helping these birds. And you can approach them and ask them, what more can you do to help these birds as well? And then I'm sure they will give you great knowledge and teach you a thing or two. Well, how about you?
Well, one way which you might not have thought of is actually controlling your cat. Keeping your cat indoors, keeping an eye on your cat, and also controlling the stray cat population because cats actually won't often catch a swift, but they will harm the nests of many small nesting birds.
Good point, Matt. That's right. So maybe there are just so many other ways we can just brainstorm and think about the different kind of ways that we can do to help these birds, right? Okay, well, let's review the article again, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
One of the most amazing things about common swifts is their speed and endurance. During its lifetime, a common swift may travel millions of kilometers, equal to several trips to the moon and back. Every year, these birds migrate from Europe and Asia to Africa and take advantage of strong winds along the way. These long-distance journeys are among nature's greatest wonders. Young common swifts are also full of surprises. When nesting, the parents may leave their chicks alone for days if the weather turns bad. The baby birds survive by entering a state called torpor that slows their heart rate and helps them save energy. When the chicks are ready to fly, they launch into the sky and begin their travels across different continents. Although swifts are common in many parts of the world, their numbers are decreasing in some regions because of habitat loss. Old buildings, where common swifts in Europe often nest, are being replaced by modern ones without the small gaps they need. Thankfully, many people are now building special nest boxes to help them. With a little help from us, these wonderful birds can keep filling our skies.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 advantage 名词，表示有利条件、优势； nest 当动词，表示筑巢； launch 当动词，可以表达鸟类振翅起飞，或者指发射，像发射火箭等等； continent 名词，表示洲、大陆； decrease动词表示减少，使减少、降低。文法的部分，第一个学到 if 引导条件句，是用来表示可能发生的情况，指未来情况时 if 子句的动词要用现在式代替未来式。它的句型就是 if 主词加动词逗号祈使句，或是 if 主词加动词逗号主词加上 will、can 或是 may 再加原形动词。第二个，我们学到了连缀动词的用法。那连缀动词是用来连接主词跟主词补语，而主词补语通常会是形容词和名词，用来说明这个主词的状态或者是身份。好，那以上是这个讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Oh, right. Did you end up getting the job that you were mentioning last time?
Not yet. I'm still on the fence about whether to accept the offer.
On the fence, but we're sitting on a bench.
No, it just means that I haven't made up my mind.
Oh, well, why not? It seemed like a pretty good job.
Well, everything about it is appealing. The only issue is that the commute is going to be a nightmare. So I'm still waiting to see if there are other opportunities.
Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking about the phrase on the fence.
That's right. It means to be undecided or unsure about something.
Like when you're sitting on a fence and haven't decided which side to jump down on yet.
Exactly. The phrase is often used when someone can't choose between two options or doesn't want to take a side.
Here's an example sentence. I'm on the fence about whether to buy a house or keep renting for a few more years.
Or he tends to stay on the fence during office arguments so he doesn't upset anyone.
So basically, until you make a decision or commitment, you're still on the fence.
Right. And that's all for today.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.